truce will not stop the inevitable, but truth will set its path. Let us introduce our cast for today. My name is Eli. I am your oracle.
Amanda, baby, I'm so sorry you're muted.
Muted, Amanda.
Our streak.
No! Hi, I'm Amanda. I play Sir Rose.
Hello, I'm Caleb James Miller. I'm mourning our streak, but I am still Cecil Odera, the end scribe. Somebody changed the day since accident sign.
I'm Lev. I play the Radiant.
I'm Sergio. I play Ashwyn.
I'm Zach, and I play Cloudburst.
Before we continue on with our tale, a little bit of recollection is in order. Dear Radiant, what do you have for us today?
May the dawn shine on me each day of my life. May I follow its light to a future worth living. A new day will always dawn. And your light has already led me on a path I never thought I'd return to. To people I scarcely hope to see again, with the end of all things on the horizon. Cloudburst, Cecil, Ashwyn, and Rose. By your guidance, we were in the same place at the same time, and now now we journey to battle a drake, bound to the heart of a mountain by the mystic Tarlok long ago. You've seen that our journey has been a difficult one. The ride is long. Caldwin is a surly but competent guide. The ruins of Greyfort, raised to the ground in the dead of night, perhaps at the hands of the drake, which, like all chained things, wishes to be free of its bonds. In the chest of the Grey Lord Els, a tyrannical, greedy man, if the rumors are to be believed, were carved the words, "Traitor to the Doom." This led us to believe that Sir Eli, Brightmoon, and their Cadre are acting in favour of bringing about the Doom. We hastened our pace to catch them, lest they reach Cartographer's Mount before us and unleash the drake. There is an ancient artifact within the mountain that is our focus as well, something Ashwyn has been dispatched in search of, and their retrieval of it could prove catastrophic for not only us, but all of Myth. I regret that I did not take the time to perform the last rites upon those lost in the Greyfort, and hope these prayers will make up for my negligence. May their souls follow the light of dawn to what comes next. May the prism refract the best parts of them into the world beyond, and allow the worst parts of them to pass through, to be food for other things in this world. May this transition bring them to a new purpose. As we are pursuing Sir Eli and their Cadre, we originally assumed they were to blame for this destruction. Cloudburst summoned a right tempest to slow them down, and we took out after them. The ride led us to Crow's Perch, the domain of Whitemore. These uncrowned people are secluded in more ways than one. Unbothered by the coming end, they hold us in a wholly uninterested, if not hostile, esteem. Cloudburst and Ashwyn split off from us to investigate among the populace in a tavern, the Rib. I certainly hope they have some luck, as Sir Rose, Cecil, and I spent our last hours in the town speaking with their leader, Whitemore. We've given information that we were the first outsiders to arrive, though from her physicality I suspect this was a lie. Sir Rose has made friends with one of the crows in the murder who preside over the city as gods, a creature called Gembling. It came over to her near the end of our interaction. I fear that the Oracle is whispering in our ears in more ways than one, crossing our beliefs with empty words and red herrings. We must remain steadfast in our search for the true path. Most of the denizens of the Crow's Perch worship Slatespear, a god of wind and mountains. Whitemore was kind enough to consent to my visiting their sacred site, and Cecil, as has happened so many times, was my shadow. My words with him recently have been harsher than I intended, and the grace he continues to show me ought to be a lesson. The temple to Slatespear here in the mountains is a thing of beauty I could scarcely believe. I hope one day to turn the cave behind the waterfall into something of equal beauty in your honor. Cecil and I made an offering, as I hope you will not begrudge my entreaty for extra aid and protection for those I hold dear to one of your family. The tender of the temple was kind enough to have words with us, and though I could not hear, he seemed to have no difficulty. As we spoke, I realized we were not so different. The stability of a mountain and the winds of change, choice and action, the dawning of a new day, all exist in a common realm. As ever, I am thankful for your guidance through the darkest night. We are nearing a tipping point, I fear, and desperation is growing. Much as the flock a mind to tend, so too are these four. I love them dearly. Though we've been scattered to the horizon these past 3 years, they have never been far from my heart or my mind. Which is why I make this entreaty. Please, let this be enough. Let our work speak for itself. Don't make me take one of them too.
Words are heard. Let's see what happens. You are all on the path of convergence, with pieces to learn a greater truth. With Ashwyn bringing Brightmoon by, and I imagine Rose, you are bringing Eli. Where does this convergence happen? We have Cloudburst at the rib. Cecil and
I think we were headed back to the rib after the mountain. Because initially that's where we were all going to end up.
All right.
Rose kind of still having Sir Eli, kind of like the hand on his back to like grab him in case he runs. Goes back to where they met, where they expect Ashwyn to be, to see if they're there. Went out.
I mean, walking right outside of the hall of Whitemaw, where you expect Ashwyn to be, you do not see him. He has wandered away and left his post.
I know you can't see me too, but I'm like, that's me. I'm frustrated. I can't see Ashwyn, can't see me. Refreshing everything.
Come back to you in just a moment.
Thank you. Come back. I'm back.
Oh, there you are. There you are. I see you.
Yes. I don't see Ashwyn. I'm like, damn it. I'm going to head back to at least where the original meeting point was. Where Cloudburst was, I believe.
The rib. All right.
The rib,
Headed to the rib. All right. Excellent. Cloudburst, you've been sitting across of Rib Cutter, a weapons maker here, an armorer of Crow's Perch. Anything you've been on with Rib Cutter, or just keeping time with him as people start trickling in?
I think we've been talking shop for a while. There's a blanket, hopefully, of goods that have been just sort of like little samples for Cloudburst to look at, because I know Cloudburst promised to get the Drake Spear in the hand of the Scalebreaker, but they're also kind of trying to equip the party with some goodies, maybe for trade. So they're just looking at different samples of things and asking, oh, okay, now where's that come from, and how does this work, and how does this compatible with like magic? Because we got a mage in the group, so what does that work with? And it's the party vibe is gone. This is work.
Yeah. I mean, Rib Cutter, like most tinkerers, has pieces in their bags. He shows you different samples of some of the bone work he's gotten. A lot of these bones are quite interesting, and he mentions that some of this is a mixture of drake bones that are brought back by the Storm Eye, the warriors that reside here in Crow's Perch, and there's also a mix of giant bone amongst them. Sturdy. Yeah, he goes to try to like bend it, won't break even under taps it on the table, even in the harshest of circumstances. Throws it across the room, hits into a wall.
Okay. Well, giant bone is clearly the way to go. Let me talk to my friends before we make any hard decisions, but giant bone. That's the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I mean, giants are scattered all across the mountains. They kind of moved here.
I think we lost Eli for a moment.
Oh, man.
Discuss amongst yourselves.
Listen, when the Oracle, I don't know, sometimes it's part of the game too. I'm like, wait a minute, is the Oracle just doing this to fuck with us and then watching?
I think she's back. You back, Eli?
Out of here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm back. Here, you're back.
There we go.
Giant
bones.
But giants are scattered across the mountains here. Generations ago, they've moved and settled here. Prefer the cradle. So their bones are out there. I think about that time, I'll say the Radiant and Cecil, you guys will come back from where you guys were, since you had no previous stops before heading here. So you'll walk into the rib, this bar cradled in the rib of what looks to be a great dragon. What's his name is Scalebreaker is here still amongst the group here chatting and stuff like that, and you'll catch Cloudburst off to the side with Rib Cutter as he's slowly putting his stuff back into his bag.
I think I'm gonna go over to Cloudburst and just kind of hover over there, looking over the wares that the Rib Cutter is actively putting away. What have you found?
Giant bone weapons and potentially a way to help us with our little Drake problem.
Excellent.
Radiant, Rib Cutter. We're working out a bit of a deal. Well, actually, all three of us. Where is Ashwyn?
Thought they were with you.
Well,
At
they
that
were.
point, he dramatically comes through the front door with someone in tow, another what looks to be mystic. He'll come right over to your table. We need to have a meeting. This is Brightmoon.
Well, you found her.
Skulking
That's a
around,
hell of a
yes.
thing. Brightmoon, welcome.
Yeah, Brightmoon just kind of walks in pretty like gracefully and quietly, and you just see them put their glassy eyes over to you as they just give you a nod in sky.
Oh, so you do know me. Perfect. Hey, any chance that you know where your good friend Sir Eli is?
Well, just as you ask that, Rose comes walking in.
I'm gonna be like, look what I found.
Oh, going to church might work for us, because damn, blessings.
Slate Spear be praised, I suppose.
Interesting.
We should rent a room or something?
Yes, upstairs.
Certainly.
The loud commotion has definitely drawn eyes from many across the rib as you walk in.
I'll go secure us a space. The same deal. One room, one backup room.
Okay. Yeah.
Rube's got some rooms that you can rent.
Okay. Cloudburst will usher everyone into the one that we decide is not the one where our valuables are in.
Ashwyn just keeps his eyes locked on Brightmoon, watching everything they do.
Radiant is similarly just seeing her glassy eyes very watchful as well.
Rose will open the door, kind of usher everyone in. Thank you. And when everyone's in, I'm gonna kind of do a look around to make sure to see if anyone is kind of like coming up, peeking. If I see nothing, I'm gonna close it.
No one's come up like the stairs or to like peek, but definitely as you as a unit move upstairs and with the way you guys bursted in here, you've definitely drawn a eye or a glance by as people watch you. So people are just taking stock of all this fun strangers have brought to Crow's Perch.
And I'm taking note of that. Do that and I'll secure it. Make sure.
Where's the rest of your cadre?
Well, we separated to resupply. I imagine Quellyn and White Bear are together.
Can you explain to me, the two of you, actually, Sir Eli, Brightmoon, what the hell happened back at the Grey Flats? And I would be very, very honest right now. Because we have ways to find out if you're telling the truth. And I'm going to say truth a little bit, like emphasis, looking at Ashwyn.
Ashwyn holds his gaze at Brightmoon.
Did you not call already words of truth? Down by the fire and the flame, Brightmoon says. Sir Eli's like looking at Brightmoon, but Brightmoon's not looking at them. They're looking at you.
Yes. And what they showed us was that your cadre, were the ones responsible for this, for the destruction of the Grey Flats. But you're telling us something different. So who are we supposed to trust? The literal word of truth or you?
That just depends on what part of the story you want to believe. Eli peeks up and says, listen, we did go down through the Grey Flats and through the Greyfort. The Grey Lord was giving us trouble. We found out what he was doing there, profiting off of the people, the scarcity and stuff like that. We put an end to it. Profits, or people who are profiting off this doom, should be stopped, no?
Of course, I'm not denying that. But you know exactly what I'm talking about. We talked about this back with... Why was everything else destroyed?
Yeah,
go ahead, please.
Can't really speak to how much the citizens of Greyfort were profiting off of the doom there, unless you have some sort of understanding that we don't on how innocent people living in a town they don't control can affect something like this. I don't know why you would go around, Sir Eli, burning people at the stake for something their lord did. But then you always were quick to jump the gun, weren't you?
I would watch yourself, Inscribe. You may have a way with words, but this is bigger than I fear is happening. We didn't torch Greyfort.
But Traders of the Doom. Explain that to me.
Like I told you. We left warning for the crownless around the cradle that people who are profiting off of the doom.
I'm
Those
willing
weren't the words
to
left behind.
I am willing to hold the theory that someone else could have burned the Grey Flats. There is a drake in these mountains. But we're disturbed by the fact that this is all leading towards something. This is leading towards a doom. The doom. And you seem to be eagerly racing towards it while we're doing our best to figure out how to stop it.
We are here to stop it. That's why we're here, to stop it.
What is it you're here doing? Let's lay things clean and plain on the table here. Can you tell us what you were brought here to do? I understand, yes, the implications of telling us your mission, but listen, there is no time for that if you truly are here to stop the doom, as you say.
What did Hammermott say? What Cecil said? What is it?
Well, while other people are fiddling around, there's some of us who are out here trying to figure out what these things are. Hammermite, I think it's the drake. The thing that burns. So, we're here to stop it. Take it out before it even becomes a problem.
See, I have a problem with that because you think the drake is the thing. Do you now think that?
Well, what else are we supposed to do? 3 years has come and gone since that crow squawked their prophecy out, and now what are we just supposed to wait for it to just pop up and show up at the gates of myth? Or do we take a stand and take some action around here and handle things that we might think might happen? You know? That drake has been sitting nice and idle and pretty down in that mountain for, nigh 1,000 years now?
Have you ever thought that maybe it's supposed to be in there for a reason?
Ashwyn steps forward and says, there is more that we can do. Our mission is to head to the Cartographer's Mount, where there is information, years of information, and possibly a way to do this that is not reckless and just guessing. We can have knowledge on our hands. You're rushing into destroying this thing that, like we said, unless it's suddenly escaping and burning down villages, has been stuck under the mountain. We have time.
No, we don't have time. And you, of all people, who sit there and was asking to come up to this cradle, how many years now? I've sat in your little hearings with the mystics and stuff like that. Your passionate pleas to try to handle this stuff now. Don't tell me that I should err the side of caution now that you're confronted with something that might be too in depth for you. I'm confident in my ability. I'm confident in my cadre, and points to Brightmoon. What I see is a group of individuals who seek to stop me from what I think needs to be done.
You know what I'm seeing right now?
Some false-eyed story of truth or whatever happened, what you think happened at the Grey Flats, to impede me.
Sir Eli. You know why I have respect for you. But I'm going to need you to pull your head and your ego out of your ass. Because no offense, all you are just saying is, you saying we think, but no offense, everything we think is because we saw, interacted with, or have experience with, and no offense, everything that we've been experiencing is pointing directly to you and not in a good way. So you can go off on your high mighty. But from our end, that's what we're seeing.
If you truly want to put an end to whatever you think is in there, wouldn't you want help? Wouldn't you want allies? We're here.
And beyond us, there are people here who are willing to assist, especially if it means getting rid of the drake or whatever is ailing this mountain. We still don't know.
That's why I'm here in Crow's Perch. I got it in with the White Maw, given that they rode Cadre with Hammermite years ago. So I got what I need.
The question is one of philosophy, though. We don't have enough information to understand whether you are playing into the prophecy or preventing it. Yes, we are drawn to cataclysm. We are drawn to meeting whatever this prophecy brings. And I agree with you. I do believe the Drake is the one that burns, or at least whatever is inside of this mountain. But we don't know yet if you going off on this mission is the key that turns the lock, or the death of the Drake is. And we don't know whether it hurdles us closer to the end of the world, or it prevents us from getting there. And so you could turn the key on the very thing you're trying to prevent if we don't get more information.
All right, but on whose authority do you have to go and seek out this information when I have been given cadre and blessings to do this?
On the authority of the end of the world, the same authority you took when you put that dagger in that man's heart. The Queen didn't ask you to do that unless you have some information I don't, but you were acting in the interest of all of us trying to save the world. So either you believe us and you seek further information until we are all certain of what the Drake is, or we move forward.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but because it matters to you so much, Sir Eli, the Stargazer sent us here, partially to find Brightmoon, but partially to finally follow up on my theories about what's going on and the information that's kept up there in Cartographer's Mount. Sir Eli, I understand everyone here is very heated, but it's, again, wild for me to be saying this, but let cooler heads prevail. Give us a moment to at least know that there are no more answers to be found other than to slay the Drake.
Besides, don't you want to clear your name in front of some very important members of Myth's history on whether you burnt citizens to their death? Can't we take some time to clear your understanding and have your honor prevail? I know that would be true of my friend Sir Rose. Why is that not true of you?
There's a moment where like Sir Eli takes that in with a begrudgingly deep sigh, and he looks again back to Brightmoon, and is just like a small like whisper that she says that she's been saying to him often, and you get you see the reaction he says, but Brightmoon says, "It's not our story," and he just like clenches his jaw at that, kind of like wipes his like face and on the back of the neck, kind of turns around for just like a second. Fine. Cooler heads and all. And while we waste the time to figure out what is true, we allow prophecy to slip through our fingers, but fine. What do we do now?
It's a sigh of relief.
We move forward together.
We bring the rest of your cadre here. It needs to be a true meeting of the minds. We need to discern what's true.
My question is, would you rather do this on the road or here?
I'm of a mind that we keep moving. He's right about this ticking clock as much as it pains me.
Sir Eli, is that okay? Sorry, Ashwyn.
I do see value in at least gaining the trust of the people here. There is something to say about having them at our back. If things get rough, it'd be nice to have allies.
True, but Ashwyn, we're not really in a place that's likes us to begin with.
Cecil and I made inroads at the church and the temple. We have at least the blessing of the Slate Spare.
If White Maw truly is a friend of Hammermite, then, well, he must have some allegiance. She must have some allegiance as well to you, Sir Rose. And if Sir Eli is telling the truth, as he insists he is, then she should be open to helping us all.
I suppose that in the end, it's actually the crownless that I think are important to us. Those that live in the mountains and would be closest if we're up there.
Cloudburst perks up, putting their hands on the back of the chair that Sir Eli is sitting in and gripping it to the point where you can hear the wood creaking. We do have someone that we that Ashwyn sort of enticed to join us, a local. If we can take him with us and bring him back better than we found him, that
Which
might be
local?
all we need. The Scalebreaker.
You got Scalebreaker.
And he
Ashwyn
carries
did.
with him the Drake Spear.
Yeah. It's White Maw's son.
Well, good.
Oh, man. Well, then we have to bring him back better than we found him.
Yeah.
And that changes some of my plans, I'm going to be honest.
Well, maybe White Ma wants to ensure her baby boy's okay on the ascent. Maybe we could use it to garner some favor.
Knowing that does change some things. He might be a nice liaison with his mother for us.
Look at how much we learned. Shared one fact. Now we have a plan. We could work together like this. Maybe even more than once.
We could
So
try
lo-
to Eli.
So long as what you're telling us is true. It's an
Ashwyn-
interesting thing, truth, Sir Eli.
Ashwyn puts a hand out to Sir Odera and says, "Perhaps it is time that we just accept things for what they are, and the truth will reveal itself sooner or later."
I agree. I just hope everyone does.
Well, personally, I'm of the impression that we should be heading closer towards Candle Cape for you. But, like I said, I think we should just maybe keep it moving, but...
I agree now.
Yes.
Do you want me to get my cadre, or would you rather
Please.
you go find them?
you can do that.
Maybe we send one of us with them as a show of good faith.
Well, it is a Taleweaver, and I'll look to you.
Sure. You and
I'll
Sir
go with
Eli
you.
can take a walk.
I'll go with you.
Eli will look at Brightmoon. You'll be all right. They go, I'll be fine. All right.
I'm gonna look to Ashwyn and point to Brightmoon like, you two talk. And I'm gonna...
I'll turn to Brightmoon and say, I think we can work together to gather the supplies we need for the inevitable climb.
All right. I can help with that.
He said the
said-
word. He said the word. Whoa. Fast and Furious.
All right.
Family.
So Rose, Cecil, and Eli are heading off to go get the rest of the cadre, and then the three of you are gonna, or at least Ashwyn and Brightmoon are gonna go grab whatever remaining supplies. Cloudburst and Radiant, are we doing something? We joining the other two, or?
I need to go to Rib Cutter so quickly now that things have moved, and be like, remember when I told you I would use a weapon that you would make to replace the Drake spear? I'm gonna need that to be ready, like half a day kind of right now.
Okay.
So that's your night. I'm gonna get what I need to pay you for that, and then I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Yeah. If you got the money, I can get it ready.
Great, I'll get the money. You make the best weapon you ever made. I'll see you in a bit. And I turn to the Radiant and say, do you need anything to prepare for this? We are going to kill a dragon.
Well, I assumed that based on all of our conversations. I wouldn't mind another weapon as well.
Okay. Well,
Something pointy, maybe.
I mean, this man has giant bone weapons.
Great.
If that's something. Okay.
I'll go over to Ribcutter and see if he has like a bone spear or something sick as fuck.
Yeah, he has a bone spear. Nothing particularly fancy to it, but made from giant bone.
Excellent craftsmanship. I would love to purchase one.
Sure. Never took a Godsman for a spear wielder.
I'm a woman of many talents.
He gives you like hands you the spear. All right. Eli, Cecil, and Rose, you guys head out. Looks like you guys are walking towards marketplaces and stuff like that. Eli mentions that they were in charge of the bulk of like the general resupply they needed, but he's walking probably in between the both of you. Doesn't really say anything. That clench in his jaw hasn't unclenched, and he's just walking.
Sir Eli is gonna Rose is gonna like not speak for a very long time, see it clench and be like, we are on the same side.
I don't doubt that.
Okay.
And if we're not, well, you know.
Do I? And scribe? Seem
think
like you
you
have
do.
a lot of words.
Yeah, I always have.
Mm-hmm. And that you're quieter than a whisper.
Yeah, well, just thinking about how funny things work. Especially between you and me.
Do you have to pay a coin for your thoughts, or is it just something that just comes in time?
Sir Eli, you couldn't afford me.
That might be true.
Just ruminating on honor, I suppose. The truth of somebody's word. Trustworthiness. I think I might write some tonight.
No. Eli doesn't say anything to that. You guys arrive towards the marketplace. Look around and stuff like that. Ooh, yes.
I'm gonna kind of pull Cecil aside and be like, is there something going on between the two of you that I'm not aware of?
It's just old wounds. Sorry. Is it that obvious?
Honey, I'm just gonna tell you, I felt that tension. I'm sure Cloudburst felt the tension, and I'm gonna emphasize on Cloudburst. I'm like,
Cloudburst feels that. Any regard, Cloudburst can hear somebody move their fingers if it's quiet enough. Listen,
probably.
It's nothing. If what we saw is true about him, it confirms a lot of things I've been thinking for a long time.
Yep. You can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm gonna listen to Ashwyn and listen to the cooler heads. Even I get upset.
It's just hard.
Well, whatever it is, you don't have to tell me. It's your business. I'm just letting you know that if you need to let some hot air out into a void, I can be a good ear.
It's Violet Field's business.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take all the time you need, and I'm just gonna walk away. You take all the time you need.
Yeah,
I'll
you
let
guys
Rose
arrive.
and Eli move up in front of me, but
Yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. You guys do make it around to that market area. You'll eventually, Eli will just kind of give you a look and then like a nod in the direction of a couple people at a stand. The first person you're going to see is this very large man. Definitely wears clothing that come from the north. He's got this deep white hair that's braided, a bear of a man. And right next to him, just kind of idly chatting away, is someone with shorter, curlier brown hair. Got that shit-eating grin that comes with many Taleweavers, that level of arrogance and performance that always seems to come when you cross paths with one. Wearing a much more like deeper green cloak and stuff like that, set up for travel wear. He's over there, like, probably from the distance, what you can tell is saying something poetic to an apple that he's holding into his hand before he chucks it over to the very large bear man, who just catches it and like eats half of it in one big bite. Just having a grand old time. Like, there's no problem or care in the world, and that they're just packing up and getting ready for continuation of an adventure. And Eli just looks at you, Rose.
I'm guessing the rest of your cadre?
Yeah, that's White Bear and Quellyn.
White Bear and
Looks
Quellyn.
the smaller one.
Well,
Oracle, I'm looking back into my memories and thinking of all my times in, so many smoke dens and brothels and inns and story halls and extravagant parties. Has Cecil ever crossed paths with Quellyn? What would he know in the zeitgeist?
Quellyn has always been a very carefree individual. You would know that he is a regular cadre member of Sir Eli, and they have traveled far and wide. Quellyn focuses his tale-weaving skills more in song than in the way that you scribe. You would also know that he, while has the outward presence that comes with performance, is in truth a rather meek individual, and rumored also to be a bit of a coward in many places, in many regards. But you've never found in your passings with him, whether that be a late night musings at a tavern or the occasional passing that comes with being a Taleweaver, you've never found his work towards the greater work that Taleweavers seek as being ever dishonest or untrue. He has a way that he perceives the world that has a genuineness to it, despite his cowardly dispositions. You want to break the bad news to them, or should I?
Well, let's just at least give us a proper introduction. I mean, I didn't know manners were not a thing. Excuse me, gentlemen. Hello there. And then just going to shout out to... So under his... It's Quellyn. What's the other one's name?
White Bear.
White Bear! Quellyn! Hello!
You hear them. You hear the call. They hear the call from across the way. Quellyn looks up and squints over and says something over to White Bear that gets him to turn around to see all of that. Right. And then they clock Eli along with it. So they kind of go quickly to pay what they needed to the stand and grab what little supplies they have in bags, sling it over the shoulder, and start prattling on. Quellyn's just going to be like, Cecil?
Quellyn?
Is that you?
It sure is. It's good to see you, Quellyn. I hope you've been keeping your running boots clean.
I mean, as clean as the rain will keep them in all this mud and muck. It's been a while. God, I can't remember the last time we saw each other. Was it, last winter, I think?
Yeah, but I don't think either of us were sober enough to remember what anybody said.
Never really is. Never really is when I get to hang out with you. I come to find that there's always gaps after we cross paths. But it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Unexpectedly, too.
Yes, well, it's a shame about your company, but I come with greeting. I come on behalf of my cadre to yours. We're seeking summit with your group. If you can oblige.
All right. Quellyn, starts looking at the three of you and back at Whitemaw and starting to put things together.
We don't mean any harm as of right now, but we need to clear up some things if we're to move forward in this world. Quellyn, I've always known you to be true to your stories, and the same that you've known of me, unless, of course, you've been listening to some. We need to come to a point of agreement, all of us. If you're welcome, you'll follow us. We'll camp outside of town. We'll figure this thing out. And if everything is as it says, and he gives a pointed look to Sir Eli, then we'll all continue together.
It'll be all right, Quellyn. Eli pipes up. Just heading out of the perch and on yonder. It'll be fine.
Now, we can follow the traditional rules of Summit. We can discard all weapons and promise that any magic is strictly forbidden within the confines of our conversation. Or we can do this informally if you do not trust us enough to keep the peace. Whichever you prefer, this conversation is going to happen.
I mean, I'm one for tradition, but you speak like we did something wrong.
There's, you know what? I'm sorry. There's been some complications that, frankly, your cadre and our cadre is kind of crossing heads, if you will. And that's why we need something straightened out.
Cecil reaches to that very large tome on the side of his pack, basically, off of his hip, and unsatchels the book strap and hands that tome over to Quellyn. And instructs him on the pages to reference. And it is sort of haphazard. It's the work in progress of so many things, but the reference pages will lead to Cecil's description to the exact meter and image of what happened in Greyfort and what he witnessed. This is an account of what we saw and what we need to set right. Now, Sir Eli speaks that none of this happened. Or at least it was not your responsibility, and we need to make sure that that's true, but we have to do so at Summit.
Quellyn will open to the pages that you direct him to, and not moving to any page before or after it. He reads through the words that you inscribed onto the pages. He follows them until there gets to a certain point on the page, a point that you were hoping he would find amongst the words there. And you will see him look up and give you a look. I understand. Then yeah, we should be in Summit, and however you want to handle it, formal or informal.
Perfect. Sir Rose, as former cadre leader, and without Ashwyn here to speak for himself, do you think Ashwyn would prefer formal or informal?
You know what? Probably a little bit more informal, but you know what? Let's just go for, as of right now, since he's not here, until otherwise, we'll just do a formal thing.
Understood.
Then
Quellyn, I am calling the rite of Summit and inscribing that from here on our next meeting will take place at an agreed upon set of coordinates, and when arrived, all will be unarmed and with express understanding that there is no magic to be cast during the proceeds of our conversation. I promise peace to your group, and you will do the same, under Myth and our queen.
I accept.
Thank you, Quellyn. I'll make sure there's plenty of alcohol by the time you get there.
Oh, all right. Here's the hoping, I suppose. Eli's gonna take steps like from where you guys were on the line to over to where White Bear and Quellyn are.
Don't look so green. You look scared. You don't have to be sick about this. If the truth is the truth, like we always say, no one's got any reason to be scared. And then Cecil's going to take a step back to be on plane with Rose and just kind of look to Rose like, I'm good. Are you good?
Rose is double checking to make sure you took your book back.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless Quellyn's...
No, Quellyn handed it back. He
That
wouldn't.
smile.
Tis the decorum.
Be like, all right. Honestly, like I said, I think we're all on the same team. And if that means we're all on the same team, that means we can help each other. And I think that's the reason why we want to get things cleared up.
Right.
We're pushing forward, yeah. I was going to say, we heading back, bringing everyone, then we just go, come on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ashwyn, you walked off with Brightmoon to gather whatever other remaining supplies are needed here at Crow's Perch, since the idea is to move on at a certain point once we get things situated. But what are you guys doing as you guys are collecting those items, walking around shops and picking up things?
Yeah, Ashwyn's getting supplies for what might be 10 people now. And he almost is walking around kind of like a kid who caught a bug and is kind of eagerly showing it around. He's all smiles with Brightmoon, and as he's like putting some supplies in her arms to hold, he's got a bunch slinged over his shoulders. He says, I suppose since we're working together now, you might as well come clean about what your plan was. I'd love to hear how you plan to find the Drake. Did you have some kind of knowledge about where it was kept specifically?
The hope was to follow the words that were spoken of its story and confirm it with members of the Crownless, White Maw. That's why we were heading to Crow's Perch in the first place. The people of the Storm Eyes are one of the older bands that have existed through the years. They would know the potential paths or avenues, or at least being on the summit could allow me to see things and how they move forward.
A good plan. You can see things. You were able to tell that I read the note, that I spoke the truth to the fire. Have you not seen the same visions we have? Cloudburst, one for the Cadre, they've seen things. Evidence that the doom is coming not because of our great acts, but because of our hubris.
I can only see what my eyes can reflect. You will find that truth has its gaps based on what we see.
I think Ashwyn genuinely scoffs at the idea of there not being some easy way of always deducing the truth. He says, well, look, never mind the temperament of my cadre, who seem very prickly against your Sir Eli. I am of a cooler, more intelligent head, and I will continue to advise them to remain calm, and I suggest you do the same for yours. Well, I think we can do this. We can do great things together.
She kind of returns a scoff similar to the one that you gave, and she goes, cooler heads prevail. You know, of all the years that I've known you, Ashwyn, cooler head has never been the word that I would derive.
Well,
passionate and flowing like a river, maybe. Hot as a fire. But cool. This is interesting.
he suddenly tries to strike a pose that seems cool. You will find that the more you get to know people, there's lots of things you don't know about them. There's layers.
She stands there so like poised and posed, the glassy eyes like looking at you while you're just like, you can see the way you're posing and the way her eyes reflect it. She says, I suppose we don't know much about a character until we get to see how their story plays out.
I just want you to know I'm not your enemy, and everyone knows quite easily of my disdain for the Stargazer and his decision to stare out from myth instead of in it to solve our problems. And I know that you are their apprentice, but I think we can do this together. Just remember that.
I do not see us at odds. And how funny how our paths send us outward beyond the city in order to help it in the way that one gazes at the stars.
I've always understood the Stargazer to be a person looking for a way out, an escape from this world. That's always been my gripe with them.
Well, he has always been one that sees bigger pictures and only moves when that picture is clear.
Ashwyn's face grows a little red and says, well, I suppose I've learned something today, that everyone can change and maybe there's more to everyone.
As cooler heads prevail, right? What else do we have on the list that we need to grab?
Sir Odera, or Mr. Odera, asked for a lot of alcohol, so we're going to have to get a crate.
All right, and she'll just kind of walk past you towards like stepping up onto this next like shop area where probably you guys can buy alcohol. So we grab whatever supplies we need and we can reconvene back together. You've called Summit for this cadre, and you guys said there was a place we were going to meet. Is that on the road? Is that here in Crow's Perch before we ride off? How are we handling that?
Are we all thinking? I was thinking on the road, like a camp outside of Crow's Perch, to say that we're moving down, like a mile out or 2 miles
just outside of town a little bit.
Yeah.
It's private.
Private, with the exception of the two people
Crows.
of the mountains that you've brought in with you.
Hey, the crows are nice to me.
Well, good. They can be representatives of the nation they're in.
Sure. All right, then you guys will grab those supplies, saddle up upon your mounts. You will see Scalebreaker with Drake's spear on his back, standing at the Hall of Whitemaw. You'll see Whitemaw present him some type of wreath that is placed around his neck, and what you can see is just a prideful look with a mixture of concern, but like all good leaders, trusting in the or even a good parent trusting in the choices one makes, and at least wish the path well. Though you will see when Scalebreaker goes to mount his horse, a horse probably just as big as yours, Cecil, to accommodate such a massive man, you will see a much sharper look towards you all from Whitemaw. Well, blessings to give to it. There will always be that layer of suspicion from the people of the cradle, from the crownless, and maybe from a parent who wonders what intentions Mythborns have with their legacy. But she keeps it as civil as one possibly can, but you can't ignore such sharp look that she gives to you all. But you guys can start riding down the trails out of Crow's Perch to continue through the cradle to work towards the cartographer's mount. How far along the trail do we go until we stop to have summit?
It's like about an
Said
hour.
a mile.
I was saying, yeah.
Until, the light's dwindling from Crow's Perch. Have it on the horizon at least, but right before we're about to lose it in our sightlines.
All right. With Crow's Perch being nothing more than a looming reminder of where you have come and where you are going, there's a place where you guys can step off, a alcove, a cave even, wherever you'd like to have that. Folks will dismount, removing weapon.
Actually, before we left Crow's Perch, one last thing really quick. Radiant went up to White Maw and just kind of bowed her head and said, "As you have given me leave to speak with Slate Spare, I will keep your son in the prism's eye."
I hope so. The storms can grow quite ferocious when provoked.
A new day will always dawn.
The eyes will be watching you. And then... But you guys will find place to hold summit. Weapons removed and...
Yeah, I think Cecil goes through the whole process of setting up the most extravagant camp they've had yet, with all the new guests and making sure there's enough room. He almost sets up like a conversation pit, and in the center a dais where he sets down the Ballad of Cabot's Maid and unchambers the 6-round chamber, and then removes all 6 bullets and sets them adjacent to the gun in the center of the dais, almost ceremonial. And then also sets down his very large book, drawn to the newest page, with his charcoal pen and writing tools adjacent to it. And he seems a little more amped up or nervous. This rite of Cadre to him is important, obviously.
Ashwyn removes his poncho, kind of neatly folds it, places it by Roach, and he'll go up to remind me the name of the gentleman with the Drake spear.
Scalebreaker.
Scalebreaker. He'll come up to Scalebreaker and say, "Mr. Scalebreaker, you are the representative of the crownless around here. Would you like to join us as we draw summit?"
I guess if you must need me to sit here, I heard there was ale brought along or something of the nature.
We'll get to the ale. But remember, all great heroes are also great politicians. So it's good to have a balance.
If that is what you do in your city, yes. He'll just go and plop down. He's still got Drake spear on his back though. He doesn't understand the thing of being weaponless.
I understand that.
Yeah, Sir Rose will also have her, basically her clear blade down, and she's going to take a bed of thorns to be sure even. She's going to actually leave it on the holster, but she's going to attach it to Last Hope. So it's far away, but she's going to whisper in her ear, if shit goes south, you know what to do, baby girl. And then, scratch his chin, kiss it, and be just head over to the camp, and no one's getting a drink, I'm starting it.
Cloudburst comes in with, honestly, a new weapon. Reads the vibe of the room and immediately turns around and puts that on socks and is like, that's for later. That's fine. But comes in a little bit more dressed down because there is nowhere to hide weapons. Is sort of in their like camp clothes, and takes a spot by the door.
Radiant leaves their sainted iron on Thaigwe's back in a holster, but takes the giant spear and just kind of knocks it into the ground, kind of almost as an opening of conversation. And since they're kind of the last one, a little initiation of, okay, let's go.
To a good conversation, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip.
To a good conversation.
I'll raise my glass and take a sip.
For the others who meet you there before they take their sips of alcohol as well, Quellyn, like you, Cecil, you will see him bring forth, while he does not write in tome, he brings forth the instrument in which he weaves his tales, a small ocarina that he places down to be along with you, which you know as the Lament's Call. You will see Brightmoon has also removed what would be similar to you, Ashwyn, some form of garment, armor, just to keep it, as well as any components of their magic, and keeps their hands in front of themselves in like this kind of poised sit position, so that you can see their hands at all time, given that they are a mystic. White Bear will pull this great sword that he has and will leave it upon his naigat, this wintry-looking horse like creature, very gaunt and almost pale like, that he keeps there. And Eli will also leave both his sword and his own weapon on his steed, and will sit down across from you guys. They all take those shots with you and allow the summit to begin.
As both cadres have called for the rite of summit, we recognize that both cadres are here on what is sacred purpose within the realm of myth. We bring the summit together only to find the truth of the situation, to draw peace between two groups, and to assert the better wishes of myth and the world at large. With that mission in mind, I would like to remind ourselves that we are not here in opposition. We are here in allegiance to myth and its people. And now, in the time that we serve, our allegiance to the prophecy and what will come of it. We all have come here to save the world. And if we can enter this conversation with that shared understanding, perhaps we can come to a solution. I bring this together specifically to elucidate on the information I provided within this book. I showed you, Quellyn. I believe you've seen it and read it yourself. Sir Eli, I believe we informed you in a much more aggressive fashion, but I'm sure that you've been kept abreast. And to the other two, welcome. It's good to know you. It's good to meet you. We speak, of course, of the burning of Greyfort, of the burning of innocent human beings, of people who put themselves in allegiance to their people and died because of it, for no good reason. We also would like information as to why all of this has happened and how. It is our belief that you all were perpetrators of the innocent slaughter of these individuals by way of fire, a cleansing of their existence, something that goes against our essence and many of ours honors. And he looks directly to Sir Eli. If there's not a betrayal of your house, your fashion, and your order, then you will have good answer and good standing. Otherwise, well, otherwise.
We accept the terms and what is stated here. Since you have the grievance, where is it cited? The wrongs that were done, the truths that you know.
You are permitted to read in the following pages, and he gestures to his book, but we can speak plainly on the circumstances. He turns back to our cadre, to the heroes of the Doom. Would anyone care to speak first on grievances?
I'm going to wait till, especially once they're kind of skimming through the book, and I'll be like, because I know you said you marked down Traitors to Doom on there, and I'm going to be like, that there is what concerns me a lot.
The summit recognizes Sir Rose Eleanor Zimwalt Discard.
I apologize for speaking out of turn. That's what I want to know. That's a very, I need clarification on that. What happened? Just walk me through it. This is not, just walk me through it. I understand you killed, and I understand the leader. That's fine. We've talked about that already. But what happened after him? You just turned around, saw everyone else, and said, fuck it? Or what? You just turned around and left? That's what I need to know.
I think everyone from your cadre begins to look at Quellyn, which now in this formal setting, you start to kind of see where the meekness starts to pool in. He is looking rather nervous. This is not a hall in which he can dance and sing upon. He's being called into question to do the work of Taleweavers, which is in part their truth or whatever they have seen and recall. And Taryn goes, oh, right. Well, the only thing I can provide here is my account, if I am allowed that.
Please.
Okay. I will tell you what I wrote of our time at the Greyfort. And he'll go and he will pick up his little ocarina, and you will hear him like play out a simple note that carries resonance amongst this space, just reverberating off the walls, dissipating, and almost setting a tone. He begins to play, and as he plays this song, you will hear Quellyn's accounts in the whispers of the notes that are playing here. And he will tell you this song. Gather close, my road is short now, and the words are thinning. When this tale ends, so shall I. I came to the Greyfort where the silver was minted from sorrow, and the Grey Lord, the prophet of doom, sold their end of every myth. He promised peace through silence, an age without gods or dreams. He spoke the price, and the world paid in color, in memory, in song. But I am the last who remembers what stories are for, and a tale untold is a blade unsheathed. So I came with the word sharper than steel, and a sword followed after. For prophets who profit from doom always meet the edge they foretold. I did not strike in hatred, I struck to break the lie. His throne split like the husk in winter, and from it rose the breath of myth once more. The fort did not crumble, it remembered. The stones spoke their name again, and in silence, the silence bled into song. He fell, the prophet of the doom, not as a king, but as a warning, and I felt the story turn its gaze to me. For those who kill a prophet must join their prophecy. So hear me now before the hush arrives. I am the weaver of the end, the blade that words became. And when my voice grows quiet, know this, the tale lives on in you. And with that, that last note rings out, and a hush falls to this room.
Ashwyn stands and says, well told, but without the missing component. Why you chose to turn around and destroy the entire village, everyone involved that had nothing to do with this prophet of the doom. You've all evaded this answer. And I think, unfortunately, as much as I don't want to say this might be the last time we put up with a non-answer. People died beyond this prophet of the doom. And you need to answer for it.
Summit recognizes Ashwyn, the Tide's Rage.
Quellyn looks at you, Ashwyn, and says, I can only tell what I saw, and I can only write or sing what was done. Unless you are telling me that my account is untrue, I have told you all that we've done.
What happened after the dagger entered his chest? Did you all leave immediately?
We left. We handled what was the slight, the lack of hospitality, especially after we gave token. And we left.
I will turn to the others and say, we have a choice to simply believe them because we have no other options. They're telling us they killed a man who was guilty and then went on. We don't have evidence beyond that they did anything else. And the fact of the matter is we have a much bigger mountain to climb, literal and figurative. Perhaps, for now, we need to accept this as the truth. And Ashwyn will sit down.
I put my hand on Ashwyn's shoulder and stand up.
The Summit recognizes the Radiant.
Your truth is what you experienced, yes?
It's what we see,
Yes.
Your Radiance.
Have you seen the Oracle of late? Heard her whispers?
Quellyn kind of shifts their gaze, always to Brightmoon. Everyone seems to always lay their eye on Brightmoon when one requires assurance or comfort or whatever it might be. And Quellyn finally says, I don't think oracles are never far from our ears. If what is said is true about them.
Certainly. This oracle in particular, though, the one who gave us word of the doom, I'm kind of directing everything to Brightmoon and watching for her reaction, and also her eyes, which have been glassy and strange this whole time. I think trying to suss out if this is just the way their eyes are as a mystic, or if this is something outside, some kind of outside influence within her.
You know, Brightmoon is a mystic of prophecy as well, and gravity. They see things beyond your understanding, and that is what the glassiness is that you see a reflection upon when you look at it. Every time someone looks at Brightmoon, though, she does not look back at them or provide any gesture of comfort. Just looks ahead, across the way here, still poised. And Quellyn nods and says, I have heard the whispers of crows.
Any dreams?
Quellyn thinks for a moment.
Brightmoon,
Not a-
specifically. I appreciate your willingness to share your truth, but I would like to hear from the mystic who works in prophecy. If she's
Do you
willing.
think my words will change things?
I think your words hold a truth that your Taleweaver can't express. Any dreams?
I am not one for dreams, for the things that tether me beyond my sight, is truth. Because words are spoken, and they become what it is. And it is echoed and rippled by all who can see beyond their understanding, which include the divine.
Yet the only way to beat prophecy is through dream. Is that why you don't do it? Is that why it escapes you?
We don't have time for dreams. Dreams are for those who hope, not for those who understand what is.
Dreams can be a door to what is, though. What is and what could be are not as far apart as you would believe, Prophet.
And yet our words are absolute, and you cannot change it. The only thing we know, or come to know, is who gets to tell that story.
Well, then assist us, as we are veering too far into philosophy, my dear new friend. Assist us with what truths you've seen, and elucidate something that gives us some ability to trust.
An easy question, then. What did you see once you left Greyfort? Was your road smooth? Did you encounter anything or anyone?
Our road was only impeded by words of storm that kept us from reaching perches. I do not know what came after us, I just know what comes ahead of us. And now, with new changes, as futures are never set in stone, we move forward in fellowship.
If I may, Brightmoon, do you believe or trust in the witness of the Taleweaver Quellyn just now? Do you believe in the song?
The summit recognizes the acclaimed Shadowjack Cloudburst, Master Spy Master.
The Taleweaver's job is to document presence while I gaze into futures. I must trust what is rooted in what we know so that we may be able to find the threads and paths beyond that point. It would be unwise for me to disregard the truths that come from those who keep it.
I agree. But for the record, Quellyn is in that number. Yes?
Yes.
Sir Eli, I have a question. On whose authority is your sacred purpose delivered? Does this mission come directly from royalty, or is this on behalf of your order?
I was given blessings by the order of the Errants of Myth to enact such plan for the greater good of our people.
And of this blessing, is our queen informed, or your king?
It is not my place to speak with that of royalty. It is simply to enact the roles and responsibilities departed to me.
The right of Summit recognizes that as a no.
Ashwyn will turn to the others in his chair and, with a heavy heart, they don't dream of prophecy. I've heard all that I need to know.
Is there any loose ends that my cadre would like to see before we retire to discuss among ourselves and come to a conclusion?
I would like to, if allowed by both our cadre and the other, place Quellyn under a sort of witness protection. Rather, not allow him to leave the presence of our cadre through the night.
If it should do right by both parties, Quellyn will join us for the night for intended witness questioning. And your cadre is welcome to do the same with one of ours to ensure safety. Unless you trust us.
I have no reason to distrust you all. Eli speaks up. If you need Quellyn for your assurance, and he looks at Quellyn. Fine. Consider it a gesture of good faith.
For the duration of this reflection, I inspire that both cadres must stay within the vicinity of this camp, and we will take any... then let us have an hour to retire and return with conclusion. You are more than welcome to any of our amenities within the camp, and we have procured much alcohol to help take down the sour notes of this conclusion.
So Rose is going to get up wordlessly and start getting more drink, like kind of pouring that out, like from that tap, be like starting to refill.
When we get to this point, you're going to see Scalebreaker just start laughing. It's like, you Mythborns sure do have funny ways of handling stuff.
Yes.
Usually we just use our fists to just settle the grievances, and, quicker to the understanding. Like you and your words. And he just takes a drink.
Well, the Mythborn commonly do not know which one to punch. And then he begins loading the cabot's made and reslinging the chamber and putting it back into his holster.
Ashwyn will just silently stand up and walk out of the tent and go over to Roach, start tending to my Nyat for a little while.
Master Quellyn, I suppose, if you'd like, we can take the questioning in my tent, and anyone who'd like to discuss with you can hold station with you. How about that?
Sure, if that works out for everybody, I'm amend to that.
Oh, take a deep breath, Quellyn. It's gonna be all right. I'm not gonna do anything to you unless we have to.
I never worried about that for a second. No. I know you, right, Cecil?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it seems like we're parting ways to have a bit of conversation, and I think that's a good time to take a quick break before we further those conversations and see what our next steps are. So stick around a little bit. We'll be back to figure all this out. All right. Summit was had, and terms were drawn until conclusions can be made. You have offered or requested that Quellyn reside amongst you all, so that you might be able to further ask any questions beyond what was spoken in mutuality. As that happens, Eli is going to kind of step outside within the confines of what you guys agreed to, how far you can go. Same with Brightmoon and White Bear, giving you guys the space of this area for you, and they're just going to take a step off. Scalebreaker's going to stay, just enjoying the comforts of Mythborn hospitality, as he waits for further instructions, since he has no stakes in this game. And Caldwin will be just kind of outside, didn't participate in that, off whittling away, minding his business, like a good roamer does. But is everybody staying here to question Quellyn? Is others seeking out additional conversations with other members of this cadre? Where are we setting up after the summit has broken up?
I was gonna say, if anything, I know Cecil, Radiant, you wanted to talk to Quellyn.
I wanted to bring up, and I'll pull them away. I think I'll pull everyone a little bit further away from Quellyn, and just the dream I had when we took our little trip. We thought it was us, but it's them. It's a mystic who knows starlight and gravity, one who speaks of tales, a northerner who brings the cold winds, and loyalty to the one at the center fueled with pride, who greets the doom like an old friend with hope of legacy. I don't know if that's Eli or...
Wait, the one from the north.
One from the north. It has to be, because Moon is the first, Quellyn's the second. White Bear must be the third, and I'm assuming the one with loyalty to the one. Yes.
When I asked what authority he spoke on, he couldn't tell us he was working with the Queen. It means he was working straight for Hammermine. Is he at the center of this?
Ashwyn is very somberly putting back on his poncho, almost like having to reholster a weapon, and he says, "They don't dream, not like us. But I think the Radiant is correct that they are the ones that caused it, the ones that started all. And we aren't going to be able to convince them otherwise, but we can keep them close.
Which
you all
means
can do what you like with Quellyn tonight, but tomorrow I think we smile, we shake hands, and we continue, keeping them within view, so that the moment they act out, we can react."
I think Ashwyn is correct. I think Quellyn may be an innocent in all this. He speaks the truth as far as I've known him, as long as I've known him, and by reputation, he is not besmirched outside of some piss pants situation. I think he can be trusted. The others, I think we take them as far as the Mount, maybe even deeper, and let this situation with the Drake be settled among ourselves in our direction, whatever direction we decide that may be, whatever Ashwyn believes is right, and then let the trash take itself out.
Seems like...
In agreement. I'm worried about Quellyn. And I think he knows, he seems very confident in his undoing, and I don't see why he has to die.
The song?
Yeah, a few times. If there's a way to keep him safe, I think we should pursue it, but I agree, our priority is the Mount.
We need to discern with Quellyn whether he believes he's going to die because of the prophecy or because of those who believe it.
Cloudburst, you deal in secrets and deception. Do they seem genuine to you, or do they just believe a lie enough to see it as truth?
The thing is, they're not curious, they're not dreaming, they're happy to accept exactly what they see as exactly what is. And that's dangerous, because if you don't care if you're being lied to, then I can't tell if you're lying.
You don't care about anything. I mean, you remember how hard it was to get Sir Rose to even think about giving us that letter? And that was in the acting of good faith. That was just the thought of besmirching her honor. This one, he casts aside like a blanket.
Loyalty
To be
is the one
frank,
sympathy or pride. He wants to be a hero. He wants a legacy.
I'm also, if I'm going to be honest, I'm having a hard time. Not having a hard time because I have to say this or it's going to stay in my head. We might need to look into Hammermai because I think since he was the... I've been thinking this for a while. He was the king's god and the king's dead. And now all this stuff. I'm wrong. I'm crazy, right?
You're not.
That's fine.
I don't think so.
I've
I know it
always
takes a great deal for you to consider that.
Even if you are correct, Sir Rose, we can't deal with that now. We can only deal with what's in front of us.
Right.
We have to stay alive. We have to keep this cadre in front of our eyes, and we need to see what we can find at Cartographer's Mount.
Right.
As time goes, though, I think we do need to keep an eye on what Hammermite gains by causing the doom, by letting it go through. That can't be something we leave behind.
If he can spin it up and then stop it, he's exactly the hero he wants to be. And that's not necessarily Hammermite. If that's anybody spinning on the doom on purpose.
No, I don't.
It's a future problem that we can't forget. But
that is
it
true.
doesn't-
My existential crisis in the company that I dedicated to, correct. It could be infiltrated, but you're right. Bigger problems for another time.
Your honor has not been besmirched. Keep that close to your heart.
remember this is the first of many pieces in the clock. Time's going to keep ticking. This is one of 6 if the prophecy is to be believed. There's time if Hammermite is the person we might think he is. But first we have to pay attention to what's in front of us.
So do we want to drug this man and send him on a little trip too?
Let's be honest with him about it, I
Well,
think.
sure.
But
If he's willing.
I was thinking we might try something a little different tonight. It's a little scarier, but it is fun.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Typically when we dream, we do so asleep. Yes? Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah. I was thinking, old trick that we used to do in college. You set a candle in the middle of your tent. You arrange as many mirrors as you can get. Take whatever hallucinogens you like, stare into that mirror for as long as you can without blinking, and see what changes. I think maybe it'll give us a different vision. Also, it's just damn interesting.
Yeah.
I think at the very
safer.
least, one of us should remain ourselves, so that if anything funny happens, we'll be able to warn the others.
I'm gonna be honest tonight. I'm not gonna be doing nothing. I need a night. I gotta. I'll walk. I can definitely keep watch.
She's scared in the mirror.
Yes. That's just. I'm sorry. That makes me nervous. More than Ashwyn, like going into. I don't know. Sorry, I don't want to drag you into it. Oh, Lord.
I just think maybe you need to identify why you have such a need for control.
I don't need control. I am amicable to.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm. You know what?
Ashe.
I feel like someone has to keep watch and also kind of keep others entertained. If anyone wants to come out with card, I'm gonna grab a pack of cards and you're gonna see Rose be like, "You guys handle this."
We got this covered since you are amicable.
I was considering going on the metaphysical excursion tonight, actually, if we want to make sure these people know what they're talking about.
So,
And
Rose,
I barely believe in it.
I think you are the best person for the job of keeping watch, so I think you're right. And I'll be joining the others as well. We have to learn as much as we can.
That's all right.
Do you want half in, half out? I can stay with Rose.
I kind of think you should go too, not to be rude or dismissive.
Tell me.
If we'd like half in, half out, I can stay out. I've done this about 1,000,000 times. I don't mind either way.
All right. Well then,
I can be your Sherpa.
I don't want to go by myself, so.
I'll if Cecil isn't going, I'll go. Ashwyn and I. And Cloudburst.
Cloudburst. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll walk you through it. Really, the most important point is you don't blink as much as humanly possible.
Well, yes.
And if the flesh starts to shift, that's part of the experience. Lean into it.
My flesh.
Scrying mirrors.
Unless you got other flesh in the mirror. If you do, that's your personal prerogative, and I won't pry.
Okay.
Oh my god. Are they going to scratch their eyes out?
We'll be fine.
All right.
All right.
Oh, don't do that.
I'm sorry, what are we doing?
Quellyn.
I'm going to get up and pat Quellyn as I leave the tent, be like, good luck. And I'm just going to be like,
Quellyn, you trust me, right?
I have never been put in a position to doubt you, even for the reckless decisions we've made together in the city.
Have you ever
I
been
don't
in
like that look on your
Psychomantium?
face, though.
Have you ever been in a Psychomantium?
I must admit, Your Radiance, that's a little bit of a word above my head, not gonna lie.
How's your body image? Come with us.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to swing open the walls to his tent. And he sets up a long burning candle in the center on a silver dish. And around it are 6 incense burners that he's going to start lighting immediately. And then he's going to set out 2 very large mirrors he has, about half heights, in the corner. And then 2 smaller, like just past hand mirrors in the other 2 corners.
Sit in the middle?
Sit in front of whatever mirror you like the best, whatever calls to you, whatever speaks to you. And it's very important that you keep yourself, your face in full focus, full portrait. You're going to stand in front of that mirror and you're going to look for as long as you can until you can't. Until maybe you black out, maybe things change, maybe something visits you. On the other side, someone will meet you. Whether it's another you in another world, that's what they want you to believe. Who knows? But either way, the gods are in between that inch of a mirror.
Okay. And this is supposed to teach us something?
This is supposed to tell you the truth,
Speak
Quellyn.
prophecy.
Same thing you and I have been pursuing for forever.
Okay. I'm following. I think I understand.
Ashwyn sits himself in front of a mirror, this time knowing a little bit more of what to expect from the experience, and tries to approach it almost clinically, like, staring at the mirror, dosing himself, knowing that something's going to come.
If you feel yourself wandering in your mind, try and think like Ashwyn. Find a word that matters to you, and center on it. Make that your power.
As we're all sitting down, I'm just going to kind of pass around everyone and press my hand to their forehead if they'll allow me.
Okay.
And I'll sit in front of one of the smaller mirrors.
Quellyn will stand at one of the taller mirrors. Okay.
And with the incense burning and the candle providing the only amount of light, the shadows dancing off their faces, Cecil will just guide them through, the first 30 or so minutes that it takes before shifting begins to change on the other side of the mirror. The incense is dosed with a smaller level of, he's basically hotboxing this tent to a certain degree, but just to aid in the experience. Truly, the dream is in watching your face in that mirror.
Okay. You fill this tent with smoke until it's obscures and wraps and cradles around everyone who stares in a mirror. And then you take your exit, Cecil, with Rose probably standing right on the outside as you just kind of button up the tent and let nature take its course. Before that happens, what are the two of you doing? You just standing outside of the tent? You wandering elsewhere? Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm actually gonna go to Scalebreaker because I know he's just lounging by the fire. I'm gonna basically it's a vantage point, and it's be like take out a deck and be like, "Do you play cards? Where like?" What kind of card games do you play in your neck of the woods?
Anyone that includes drinking.
I'm in. So, Cecil, if you want to join in, and I'm going to invite even anyone that's in the facility, like Sir Eli, Moonbird, all that. If you want to join, we got cards. I don't know if you can still see the cards, right? You can't see all our cards, but anyway.
Eli gives a side look at it, but he baits. He bites. And comes and joins you all.
Yeah, Cecil will join too.
You join as well. You'll see Brightmoon and White Bear kind of walk kind of on the outside, away from you all.
All right. Well, we're gonna do some drinking. So we're not playing for money. We're gonna do it like in the spirit of Scalebreaker. We'll do a little drinking, but I'll throw it out there as well. We play for a story or a secret or an embarrassing moment.
Loser tells? All right.
Loser
and
tells.
I'd like to tell you all that since this is in the break from the summit, you can lie to your heart's content.
And anyone who wants to play, I'll deal out cards. And honestly, that's what I want to do is kind of help bring some of that tension down and also kind of keep everyone within sight, but also being aware of the outside and everything. That's my intention.
All right. You'll deal cards out, and a game will begin. I'll come back to you guys. The four of you inside the tent, shrouded in smoke that you breathe deeply and stare at mirrors at your reflections that look just right at you. Portrait, as you just allow this moment to find you. Just a deep inhale and exhale, almost rhythmically. You stare long enough into your reflection. Something reveals itself. You almost like, as you take blinks, there's a moment where your eyes shift to that of the glassiness of Bright Eye, to an eye of a king that has been long since buried in fields made of violet, to eyes of crows that burn deeply, that stare hard at you and cycle on and on, the many eyes, the many things that see amongst this world. When you take an opportunity to look in a mirror at yourself and expand upon the way your mind drifts, where do you go? What do you think about when you're faced with yourself? What truth are you trying to find in the mirror?
Ashwyn sees himself, and then he sees himself through the eyes of these different things. And then he sees himself through the eyes of the Drake. He sees it chained in its chambers underneath the mountain, and he watches as the drake looks at him, and then the gaze goes up as if Ashwyn is growing and becoming larger. And when Ashwyn looks down at his hands, he sees that they are no longer the hands of a boy, but of some kind of gigantic, monstrous beast. And he almost kind of snaps out of it in a violent way, sweating profusely, but feeling a kind of closure in knowing that he made a decision when we first began this trip to the mountain that will probably have to see itself through to the end, even though it might change him.
I think Cloudburst at least will see themselves and then focus on the image of the king and then the violet fields between the two of them, and then like the entire city of myth, half in light and half in darkness. And I think they sort of obsess over what time of day it is where they're standing. And not that it really matters, just as long as it's the same time of day for them as it is for their friends. But I think even in the day or in the night, their hands are still quite red. So I think it's a lot of like wiping their face or like rubbing their hands and glancing over to Quellyn if they can remember.
Radiant is doing kind of similar physical motion to Cloudburst, pressing their palms together, wiping down their fingers around the nails. And as they look into the mirror, they start off kind of seeing a refraction of rainbow as the sun rises. Maybe they are the rainbow, but slowly, as the sun rises, the red portion of it widens and takes all of the color until it's just a solid red bar that starts to drip and flow and kind of spatters down into the desert from wherever they are above it. And I think they end up kind of over top of the mountains, just running blood down into the canyons.
You take stock with what you see in this mirror, reflecting things that have happened and have yet to happen, but you know what is true, that you are on a path, and it slowly starts to be clear, at least within this truth, that where you are heading, what you desire, what you seek, what you hope for, converges on the path that you all are taking, and what comes next and the decisions that you make will define a point here. You have heard the words of prophecy, and you have known that those paths will be taken at some point. And now you see that the roads that you are taking are just almost braided and threaded by the weave of fate. And you seem to make that clarity known through the eyes of prophets and those involved. And you can see this, like, shaking that comes with what Quellyn is looking at himself in the mirror. Something you guys have picked up that Quellyn seems to be privy to a knowledge that he has yet to be able to kind of speak. But you see, when you look into his eyes, somebody who is being given the resolve of truth, that maybe something that was spoken to him will come to be. And it is now interwoven by the truth that you have come to know, that you guys are all on the same path, converging together, so long as you stay together on this path. And whether it is to seek a knowledge from a great being, or to know whether or not this will be a defining moment for a city and where you stand, whether light or in shade, or whether the gods will pour out their blessings to allow this path to remain true and to stay on its course. As the smoke clears and slowly dissipates and the incense burned all the way to extinguish, that is what you guys pull from it. You're taking a path to doom.
I think Ashwyn stands and kind of dusts himself off. I need sleep. I'll see you all in the morning.
I'm gonna catch him right before he leaves and just kind of cup the back of his head in my hand and pull him close. Your behavior today was beyond admirable. Your sister would be very proud of the man you're becoming. I hope you keep that in your heart. And I'll kind of kiss him on the forehead.
Thank you. I hope all of my actions in the future will gain your favor. And I'll kind of bow my head and step away.
Cloudburst takes that moment to slip out and go look for a place to, if there's like a river or any sort of water source to just rinse, they will be there.
Quellyn gets up. You can see tears collecting and falling in his eyes. If no one stops him, he's leaving. And when he does, he takes a pause outside, because you will, both Ashwyn and Cloudburst, since you guys are the first to kind of depart, and you'll see Brightmoon has kind of peeked over and kind of just standing there. And Quellyn just kind of stops at the gate door, or the door of Cecil's tent, noticing that Brightmoon is here. And I think that's where he, like, the well just rises higher. And you'll see him walk over to Brightmoon and almost just like kind of like collapse like down at her feet with the tears kind of blowing. And Brightmoon, with those same glassy eyes, his constant poise on them, just crouches down and puts a hand on his shoulder, eventually cupping it around his face so that he looks up at her. And then she gets kind of stands up and then kind of walks off with Quellyn, leads him to the kind of outside where his tents are. And she kind of looks back at the tent and then goes to be with Quellyn.
The fuck is that?
Ashwyn will approach the fire with where Odera is, and I think he's accepted his fate. At least the one he thinks he's going to earn.
Yeah? There's a hard vision in there, huh?
I didn't speak to him specifically about it, but he did seem to be struggling. the way a man who has seen his own death might.
Eli takes a quiet shot of alcohol while you take that, but says nothing more than that.
I guess we all gotta get used to it.
So Rose will lean towards Scalebreaker and be like, that he took something in the tent, and let's just say he didn't. The reflection can be a little hard. Catch him up a little bit.
Scalebreaker just drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ashwyn, I'm sorry to do that to you, but I hope you found something in there.
I found clarity of purpose. I found... let me show you. And I'll pull from beneath my poncho a book, a tome, that I think at least one or two of the other cadre have seen me reading as we've ridden on our journeys. This is a book that I've been studying for a long time. It's a book of changing. If it comes to it, and we do need to face this Drake, I believe that what's inside this book will help me. It'll help us keep the Drake at bay. I don't know what will happen if I use it, but I just want you to be aware of it. So that if I suddenly stand up and run off to some cliffside and start reciting things from this book, I'm doing it for the good of us all.
Okay. I'll make sure you're not stopped from it. You believe this strongly about it.
I do.
Are we allowed to read that book to see what you're talking about? Or is this like you're going to just surprise us?
You're welcome to try, but it's in an ancient language that only us mystics can read.
So Rose looks at it, sees the squiggles, and immediately closes and been like, yep, there you go.
Yeah, those ones don't come with pictures, Sir Rose.
I won't hide anything from you, Sir Rose. It's, like I said, it's a book that teaches a mystic how to change, how to transform into something that is capable of facing what is in front of them.
How'd you come by it?
In my studies in the library at the palace.
Okay.
There's a lot of stories about people that can do that even just once, but they don't always end well. If you open that box, can you put everything back in again?
I believe so. It's not a permanent change. Well, the part that's useful. But like you said, Cloudburst, there's always a downside. But I'm willing to take it if it means clearing ourselves of whatever obstacle comes in these mountains. But I won't do it until we know we're there. You can trust me on that.
I trust you. You're a cadre leader. We got to.
What? I don't think that's appropriate. Sir Rose.
This is your leg of the journey. Our cadre ended the second the Queen told us we were no longer needed.
That's right.
This is on behalf of you, kid.
Well, I suppose then I should take up the responsibility, which is why I'm telling you about this. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds like you had a rough one. Honest, Ashwyn here, I'm going to extend like another shot. And I'm going to be like, why don't you go and actually hit the hay? If you want, you can wake up a little, get a nap in, and you can take over watch if you like. But at least go and, honestly, dream just naturally for a little bit.
I'm looking forward
Overrated.
to it. Good night, Mr. Odera. Good night to the rest of you. And I'll gesture to the other cadre, and I'll get up and go get my sleeping bag.
As soon as you're out of the sight, I will lean towards you, Cecil, and I'll be like, by the way, I can read a little thing, just don't, that was rude.
You like pictures. Am I to act like that's not true? I know you can read. You are a talented scholar, Sir Rose.
That was a bad example. It was complicated, even for magic.
You're a purveyor of fine arts.
Thank you. I think I am a little bit. Totally sarcastic.
Get back to losing at cards.
You still haven't told that secret, by the way. Cough up. I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, I pick up Ashwyn's cards.
Beautiful. I'll come back to the card scene with you all. Ashwyn's going to bed. The Radiant, you've stayed behind in the tent here. What are you doing since you just are deciding to linger amongst all these mirrors?
Even with the incense burned low, I think the candle is still on kind of its last puttering legs. And the Radiant has sat down at the center of all the mirrors and is kind of looking at herself from all sides in each of the mirrors. And waiting for the candle to go dark to see what's there and if she has an inclination about what the prism wants from her to keep this doom from happening.
You see yourself in every mirror that epicenters to you as you watch the flame go low and eventually out and fill this tent with darkness. And you would expect that would be the extent of how one sees themselves in the darkness, just surrounded by the void. But you still see each and every facet of yourself in each of these mirrors. Almost as like when you look at the way prisms are, the negative void that comes with it, you outlined in this almost white aura, devoid of color and light. No dawn to be found here in the darkness. Just the parts of the prism. And then a voice speaks to you from one of the mirrors off to the side here. Could go any way. And another from another mirror. There's so many directions the light can spread. The only thing that matters, says another mirror, is whether or not you let one who has been selected for prophecy to stay their course. Whispers have been given from the mouths of oracles. A knight slays a dragon and will be only remembered for that unless you tell your truth, says another mirror. Tell us where your light shines.
I hope that my light shines on the people in my cadre and carries them through this darkest night to a new dawn. The dawn will always rise, the day will always begin. And what will it take to get there? All of us to get there. What do you want for us to get there? Who?
You must understand who is telling this story before you realize your story is being told. Until you realize that, you will always be left in the dark, where your light cannot reach it.
Rose is trying to, or not Rose, Jesus. Radiant is trying to track which voice is speaking, and it always seems to be the one behind her. And even when she turns her head mid-sentence, their mouth isn't moving, and it shifts to the mirror behind her in that instance. And I think she kind of closes her eyes. Sir Eli is of the same order as Rose takes his orders from Hammermite, but prophecy speaks to Brightmoon. They both tell the story. Do you cut off the hand that wields the sword or silence the voice that speaks the future? Really writing the story.
That's for you to decide.
And this will keep them safe?
We can
No.
only hope. We hope the dawn will rise.
The dawn will always rise. You've taught me that. Thank you. And she, puts her head to the ground and rolls onto her back so nothing's behind her anymore. And just lays there and thinks. And maybe falls asleep there. Who knows?
While you may roll yourself away from mirrors, one reflection remains for but a moment as you lay there and maybe eventually find sleep. The reflection that holds yellow-colored eyes. And eventually that will also fade. Those who were at the fire, spreading cards around, telling stories. Just roll me a d6. Lowest man is a loser. Has to tell me a story. I'll roll one for Eli and Scalebreaker. 2 3s from me.
Also rolled a 5.
I rolled a 2.
Odera.
It's been a story, Taleweaver.
All that talk.
Listen, sometimes you lose. It's in the cards. Hey, you cannot deny prophecy. I think everyone at this card table can agree with that.
Yeah, cut the crap. What's the secret? What's the embarrassing tale? Cut the crap.
Or the
You said
story.
I could tell any story, right?
That's right. Yeah. Make it entertaining, as long as it's entertaining.
Oh, it's the most entertaining one I got. And he makes direct eye contact with Sir Eli. Let me tell you a story that made me famous. You've all heard it before, but maybe let's hear it one more time. You guys ever heard the final breath of Malavan? And his gaze does not break from Sir Eli's. About the true last words of the king.
You're gonna see me sit up when you said that. I'm like,
Hell, I don't even need my book. He waves his hand off towards the book that still sits in the dais. He stands up and he smooths out his vest and he begins to go into it. It's very impassioned at first. He's telling the story. It is of this integral interview, the last things that Malavan said. And then halfway through, as he begins to gain passion at the thought of Malavan's last words, as he quotes the king's voice, as he adopts the mannerisms of that old, failed, dead king, he stops in the middle and he says, "You know what? Why am I telling this? half of you don't even believe it. He stares in at Sir Eli. Half of you don't even get it.
Well, it's hearsay after all, right?
Yeah. A lot of people been saying that for a lot of time.
Now, I think that comes down to a man's reputation, don't you think? What happens when someone doesn't believe a Taleweaver and what they gotta say?
I think reputation is decided by people who talk too much in corners instead of out in forums.
Some people don't need to be so outward, especially when they make their words known but never really follow it up with action.
If you mean to accuse me of not being full of action, then I think you should become reacquainted.
Sounds like you got something truly on your mind that you really want to depart. And we are speaking truths, right? Isn't it your turn?
Yeah, I'll speak my truth. If this is going to continue, if the conclusion that's about to come out is going to come out, if I'm going to have to work with you, then I think that you need to take everything back. Now.
Why would I do that?
Because you spoke on my name and you spoke wrong. And I'm sick of it. He spits on the ground. Take it back. All of it. As a show of good faith. Admit that you lied.
Are you saying that this is going to be the way of your judgment and what our conclusion for Summit's going to be? Whether or not
the conclusion is decided regardless. To imply otherwise is to go again against my character. I would not advise it twice. If we are to work together, we are to continue together. If this conclusion is to be drawn to what it is, I'd like to do it in good faith. Give me that opportunity. Take it back. What you said about my book, about my character, about my family. I don't know who you're working with. I don't know who brought you to that opinion. I don't know how it is that you could be so close to sucking your mother's teat while I was on the Violet Fields that you could draw any opinion on me or my people, but you did. So take it back.
Wow, Mr. Odera, that is really dishonorable of you in the way that you are holding yourself right now.
About honor, are we?
Well, I'd like to think that we are amongst honorable people. Looks over to Rose.
Yeah. Listen, and I happen to find Mr. Odera. I don't know what this is, but I can only tell you that Cecil has been honest and truthful with me.
I will also seize the moment. I know I wasn't named in that honorable list, but I am on the actionable one. So I think following along with the prompt might be a good idea.
Are you now? Aren't you
Just
the
in
spy
case.
that just handled some disreputable stuff at that theater during the Violet Fields? I heard that costs a pretty penny to a lot of good nights out there.
You hear a lot, Sir Eli.
Oh, it's good to keep your ear to the wind. Keeps yourself abreast to all the trouble going around in the city. And the city is full of it.
Just love to know who's whispering in yours.
I take my orders from my order. Same as Rose, same as every errant knight, composed to serve this realm. I will apologize to you, and Eli will get up, Mr. Odera. I will apologize in one regard. I apologize that I didn't wait until our good and faithful king was slain before I called you and your family for what they are. You all have a good night.
I'm going to get
He's
up
gonna
and
turn
pursue him
around.
with great
Leave.
passion, unless somebody stops me.
Rose is gonna get up, but kind of let you go forward. But I'm gonna go to Cecil and be like, are you all right? And,
Oh, I'm fine. He's already dead. He knows it. That's why he speaks the way he does. He just doesn't know that I'm the one that tells the truth in this situation. It's not your story, right? He calls. And he's
How do
going
you
to
know
go take
it's
a walk.
yours? He cries. And
Cloudburst
leaves.
is marching. Cecil, that peace thing, we still holding that?
Yes!
What did
Tell the-
Cecil say?
Until the conclusion's called, we can't lay a hand on him. And with the conclusion, we can't do it either.
Cecil.
Yes, my love.
It's the first you've called me that. I'm not gonna lie. I feel special now.
I call you that plenty.
Oh, I need to hear him more often. He's a prick. He's always been an arrogant prick, and he's always done that when he was a fucking squire. Do not let the words of an incompetent buffoon rattle you. You're a good man. And I'm going to kind of pat him on the chest a little bit.
He draws her in for a hug.
Oh, look, Rose is stunned, but yeah, actually we'll return the hug.
Cloudburst, as you follow out Eli, Eli's going to kind of push past everyone, but you're going to get a little scope of like everybody else. You'll see first White Bear, and sitting, like sleeping in his lap at this point is Quellyn, who's kind of fallen asleep here. And he's over there he was like sharpening his sword, but with that sudden outburst of Eli walking out, he's kind of like giving it a pause, like mid-stroke of with his whetstone. And then not too far away, you'll see Brightmoon kind of by a fire, just kind of sitting with Cadre quietly, not doing anything. But Eli kind of storms past and keeps on going. Do you continue to pursue him, or do you stop here with everybody who's watching all of that? Okay. How far do you
Wherever
catch
he
up?
stops.
Just follow him. All right. He'll go as far as he knows where he's supposed to, like, at least stay within the confines. But it outstretches a part of the cradle here where if it was any lighter out, you could see the range, but it's just a shadow of darkness that he just kind of stares out. He's agitated, kind of just bouncing in his step, taking a resetting breath even.
What was that?
Oh, you don't know that me and Odera have a wide berth of history of grievances?
I assume so. That man talks a lot. I assume that's true with everyone. But what was that? He said you spoke ill of him and his family?
I am one of many who have heard Odera flap his gums and try to be the center of attention. And he thinks that he holds the world's story in his pocket, same as the rest of his family. And he thinks that he gets to have the cornerstone of an ending to a story of a greater man than any of us will ever be. And
Arrogance.
who gets to have that say? Why do the Taleweavers get to be the ones who prattle truth? I got my own truth. I see things as it is, same as them, and may I not have the eloquence to it. I know what I did, and I know what happened, and I don't care what the history is going to tell at this point. I'm just here to see its end. Maybe you get to tell my story, or whatever it might be.
Oh no.
Doesn't make
Sir Eli.
any grievance to a dead.
I'm not a Taleweaver, nor do I have the ability to influence that sort of thing. But I know you wish to see your story completed or heralded. And I know that we have spoken a sort of truce or a sort of peace while we're here in this camp. I cannot make you a hero. I can make you a memory, though. And I can reload my gun, which happens to need a replacement of eyes specifically. Could be anybody's. And I'm down to be humane about it. But I know you have a goal that you want to see. And I have a gun that needs reloading. So, for your story, for your sake, for our peace, right? Let's just keep those stories to a minimum. I'm only honoring the rule because he spoke it. Once that breaks, I'll do my job. And I hope you'll make my job interesting and do yours. Is that clicking?
As underhanded as that would be, and I imagine would give you the greatest of pleasures,
It would.
I'm bound to the conclusions of Summit. Therefore, if peace is at the table, peace you'll get.
Great. Well, dream well. Good night, Sir Eli.
He'll just give you a nod, return his gaze back to the void to stare at it a little bit longer and harder. And you can definitely go back. Any last thing? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I walk out and I look to Quellyn. I will make sure that you get home safely and do whatever you need to do safely. That does not extend past you or anyone in this room, actually. So just keep that in mind moving forward. Sincerely, sleep well.
So Rose is going to get up as soon as you said that and kind of pull you off to the side.
Me? Yes.
Yes. You said you can help people's safety, right?
Me? Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? I'm kind of dealing with a lot right now, and I'm kind of nervous about certain things moving forward. If need be, can you get Zeke out of Myth?
Yes, of course I can.
That's it? Okay. Thank you.
We're not done talking about that, but okay.
I apologize. I should, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, no. Next time we're back in town, I'll make some moves. That's fine.
Okay.
But that's foreboding as hell. I need a shower. And
I was gonna say, if you just let me have the night to sleep this off, I'm trying to keep it together. I have too many theories, and I'm just trying to come up with backups.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good night, Sir Rose.
Any other lingering conversations as the evening persists, or are we content?
I'm gonna catch Cloudburst after that conversation. If you're gonna take a shower for the night, just give me a second. And he walks over to Viscount and ruffles around in his pack and comes back with this silver tin that is reliefed on the side with these marching horses that extend out between these wind gusts across it. I got this a while back. It's real good. The only reason I started using it is because I met this woman, this lady of Myth, who had the most luxurious skin, smooth as all could be, right? And she told me about this regimen she's been putting through. It's part beeswax, and the rest she wouldn't tell me, but it's so good for your skin. I thought you'd like it. And he takes off the top, and he pulls through with 2 fingers and takes up some of the wax, and then just spreads it across Cloud's forehead and then across the cheeks as well. Says you can use as much as you like, but I thought you'd appreciate and get that skin shining like it always is.
Cloudburst starts to rub it in. I appreciate that. That's this tin is from at least 2 ages ago. It should not be holding anything organic anymore. But
no,
you know
I probably just put rust in your skin.
You absolutely did. You're not the first, and you won't be the last.
Cloud, you went off to talk to him, didn't you?
I went off to kill him, and I decided against it.
Okay, so you're kind of talking, I guess.
Yeah.
Did he say anything about me? Anything that changed? Did he say anything about my family?
No, not directly. But if you got a secret, I can't protect it unless I know what I'm protecting.
I don't have a secret outside of what those people tried to say about me. I just don't want anything that anyone could say to change the way you think about me.
Why would this change how I think about you?
Words have power, and as much as mine do, the ones said behind closed doors, you know, those are the words you deal with the most. They have power, and for a while now, I've been trying to fight off being hurt just for telling the truth. It's the worst feeling in the world to know that you're right and to have everyone believe that you're wrong. Even more so to think that you'd say something that was against a man you loved, a man you appreciated. And you are someone I have trusted for as long as I've known you, which probably is against my better judgment, but I think that the best people define themselves off of how their closest loved ones see them. I don't want that to change with the Cadre, with you. I want to make sure you know me, that I want to do the things that he accuses me of.
Cecil, I know that you pursue the truth, pursue the details, and want them to be preserved. Almost by any means. Almost. And we'll have fun doing it almost by any means.
Most sure.
That's all I need to know. Everything else is either a gift or wholly unnecessary. That doesn't change, then we are still in this together.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Okay. Shower up. I hope the mirror wasn't too bad for you. I know sometimes it can be hard to see your own reflection.
Nothing I didn't already know.
You sure?
Just a little off my footing here a little bit. Things are, when you want to go, you have to stop, and when you want to stop, you have to sprint, and it's not nearly as violent as it used to be, which makes it make less sense sometimes. And now we're a family, and some of us have family that needs to be taken care of. It's more complicated. I just trying to get my bearings, that's all.
Well, if you ever need to find out what those are, I'm here for you. And the others don't talk about it, but we see it. You hold us together. You always have. You keep us tight and controlled and alive. Just a little quieter about it, but I just wanted you to know I see you, and I appreciate what you are.
Well, thank you. I'd follow y'all into the doom. I think genuinely that we could walk back out.
You know what, Cloudburst? I think I could arrange that.
That's so terrifying to hear, but I know that you're right. All right.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
And step off towards the tent. Cecil's going to go into his tent, find the Radiant there, look around at the mirrors and draw some conclusions for himself. He's going to shut them all down, sort of turning off the laptop she fell asleep at. and then make sure that he grabs some of those very luxurious pillows and fit 2 underneath her neck as calm as he can to prevent her from waking up. Shawl her over, and then sit down right next to her and try and catch some sleep.
All right. You allow the night to continue on and rest to find you, and eventually dawn will rise on another day here, where we need to make conclusions and start moving forward. So as folks begin to stir, rolling up bedrolls and packing up, and eventually the cadre a cadre of Eli's will begin to kind of formate to wait to hear what happens. Anything of note as you guys start your morning before we have this final say?
Yeah, I'm gonna call them all over just before they join the circle of the dais there. We just to make damn sure that we know what we're doing. In the conclusion, we're certain that we are going to work together to the ends of the Drake and then discover truth following that.
Ashwyn will nod his head.
And if they disagree with us coming along with them, we move to action.
Whatever they present, I think we're prepared for many contingency plans if we need to act.
Okay, well then that's what I'm going to give them, and then we can set off right after.
Good.
And Cecil makes for the circle to the dais and invites the rest of the cadre to take seat. And he picks up the book, he shuts the book and says, by right of summit, we've reached conclusion, and we have a proposal to the other cadre if it should meet their pleasing. If it does not, we move to action and see that the right of myth takes hold. We have found that there is not enough evidence to point towards your involvement or disinvolvement, and we have not been able to reach any sort of consensus on what our discrepancies have proven. As such, we realize that the impending doom is much more important than whatever has happened at Greyfort. In that means, we are offering that our cadre joins yours for the duration of this solution, until we can come to a place that we know what is happening with the Drake and we have reached a final end. We will not pursue the truth at Greyfort. And as such, we'll work together as a team in order to accomplish what we intend to do at the Cartographer's Mount. But in addition, we require whatever time we ask of the other cadre before pursuing that lead to its end. May that be gathering allies or asserting information before entering the Mount. If you disagree to any of these terms, we understand and we'll move to action.
Once again, Eli, who's kind of standing at the forefront of this conversation, does take a glance over to Brightmoon, who does not look at him. And Eli looks back and he says, "We accept your terms. So let's move together to solve the things we agree on. We'll take it from there."
Good. We've got a Drake about then. And he extends his hand to Sir Eli.
Ashwyn, seemingly relieved, calls out, his voice cracking, "Well, we have a cartographer's mount to find. Let's saddle up," and start running back towards the horses.
Eli shifts his gaze to that when you pipe up, but it returns to the trial at hand. He sticks his hand out to you, Cecil, reluctantly, in the way that he looks, but gotta persevere.
He looks into Eli, and in the grasp of their hands, he whispers to him, "An additional addendum to this agreement is that you smell." And then he takes his hand away and he scurries away to his horse. Gotcha, bitch! Gotcha, bitch!
Eli just does similar, just like walks away in anger. Brightmoon's gonna step up where Eli moves away from, and looks at you. Well, in the interest of moving forward, you're right in regards that we do, outside of exploring Ashwyn's lead of the reason why you are all here in the mountains, our next course of action was to seek aid amongst the crownless. With Whitemaw's blessing, we do have a few that we could speak with who might be able to do so. We had several tribes to reach, and we do have many people, more than most cadres would have resource-wise here. I wonder what is the best route to take. We have the claw renders, once enemies of the Storm Eyes of the Crow's Perch, but their numbers have dwindled in a way that they would perhaps be able to join in cause with the right words and motivations. There's also the Smolderers that wander around, migratory. They don't have a perch to lean on, but they have the numbers to help. And then there are the Giants, which I know is not a fan favorite amongst us, but we can't ignore the prowess of what the giant kind could provide if we want to make maybe a future of breaking new ground. But they're all in different directions, not including Ashwyn's direction. I wonder if we can split ways to cover more ground.
And who'd you wanted to reach out to for allyship first?
The Claw Renderers would give us the most favor given Whitemaw's blessings. Smolderers will take time to find, given their migratory. We do not know where their feet have wandered. The Giants will take work. And Ashwyn's lead is up to if we can find the path that leads us to such knowledge. So,
would you allow us a moment just to reflect with our team and then return to you with a decision on where the two of us will part, or whether the two of us will part?
Of course. And if there's considerations, since we are in collaboration, I don't think Sir Eli would disagree that we could mix and mingle for greater purpose.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Excuse us.
And Brightmoon will walk away.
I see the point as to splitting up. I do. I don't know if we can trust them on their own. We could mix cadres, send half of us with them, half of us in pursuit of Ashwyn's. But I think Ashwyn's is paramount. However we configure.
I was going to say, aren't the Giants closest to where Ashwyn wants to go in the cartographer's mount?
Wherever they are, I've always wanted to see a giant, so I think that's the route we should take up.
Oh, you want to go Giants first?
I think if we had the giants as allies, who cares what Sir Eli wants to do? They'd be able to smash them. I mean, it gives us an advantage I don't think the others do.
Man, I have never seen you this happy before.
Giants are things of legend, things you read about. I didn't think I'd see one.
I get it, kid. I've read those stories too.
Okay. Well, Ashwyn's going Giants. Anyone else feel motivated to go Giants?
I mean,
I wouldn't mind seeing a giant too. I mean, some of the smut is exceptional. I want to see if it's true.
oh my lord, listen.
What? Ashwyn was talking about it too.
I've been a Giants fan too. Don't relax.
Okay,
We
so
all-
you know what I mean then.
I just didn't.
See, the trouble then is if we're deciding whether we send half of us with them and half of us to the Giants, or whether we're all going to the Giants and we trust them to be on their own.
I'm of the we might as well. It's because it's not the whole point to watch them.
No,
Yeah.
I think the whole point is to trust them. I wouldn't trust them as far as I throw them, but I know that they're seeking the same thing we are. I just think they're on the opposite end of the coin.
Well,
So picking the pursuit that matters the most to us is great, and maybe the one that matters the least we give to them, so that if they fuck up, it's fine.
And if we're putting the Giants against a team of the smaller humans, I think we'd at least win that final conclusion. Okay.
Exactly.
So they'll
Giants.
go for the renders, and we'll go for the Giants. Okay. Let's go tell them.
I'll walk with you, Cecil.
Sure.
We'll all join you.
We've reached a consensus. We know what we're doing. What does your cadre feel to the effect that we pursue the Giants while you pursue the renders?
The gathering of allies would be an ideal situation for us, and we could reconvene closer to the cartographer's mount with allies in tow. I feel that can be amicable.
Good. We would like a steady form of communication. Are you well versed at all in sending birds? Perhaps we could use white moss crows. Third party within this situation to ensure that the members of Myth are doing exactly what they're supposed to be. And he looks to Scalebreaker as though he'd care at all about that. Like, you see, I got your best interests in mind.
I'm gonna pull out a whistle, and it'll come off with like a bird sound. So therefore, a bird will hopefully fly in.
Brightmoon would say, while it would be nice to be in the company of crows, and then this bird flies through and perches on you, I prefer sparrows, and sitting on your shoulder is a small sparrow.
Oh. I'll pull out usually like one of my little things here. I'll pull out a little treat for it and be like, just treat them right. Feed them every once in a while. You know, they're good, right? Yeah, good.
Well, then we'll keep in communication that way and just expect that every day we send a report. Written by the Taleweavers. And he makes direct eye contact.
That sounds good.
Quellyn nods. He's like hovering very close to White Bear, but he nods at that. All right.
I think we need to get on the road. Yep, good luck.
You guys will saddle up if there's nothing else to be spoken, and we'll ride together until you guys reach a part here in the cradle where roads must split into part. You to visit the Giantkin, and for Eli and the others to seek those of the Crownless. You all start to kind of ride in two different directions. Quellyn will just give a small, meekly wave goodbye, and Eli looks back one last time, and Brightmoon, as always, looks ahead. But you guys split ways, hope to find allies in the next leg, and then to report back to the cartographer's mount and unite with hopefully a force strong enough to take on a great drake. And I think with that, as you guys ride further, with Calvin taking the lead as your guide to where the Giants might be, a good part to take a pause and see what happens next when you guys arrive into the lands of giants.
Nice.
Delicious.
The music came to an end right as you brought it to an end.
Man, like, wait a minute.
The timing. Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.